Ever wondered how many potential customers leave your Wix website because it's only in one language? Imagine if your site could instantly speak to them in the language they understand. Hi, I'm Walter from Wix Ideas, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to set up Wix Multilingual so your website can go global. Trust me, this is one of those features you don't want to miss. And hey, if you love learning simple, powerful tricks to take your Wix site to the next level, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future tutorials. Now let's get started. I'm going to show you first of all how to enable the Wix Multilingual on Wix Studio and also on Wix. They're a bit different. I'm going to first of all show you how to add it on your Wix Studio. First of all, head over to the add elements and you're going to scroll down till you get to the multilingual, and here you're going to click on add to site, and it's going to add the multilingual to your Wix Studio website. And for the Wix Classic site, you're going to head over to the settings here at the top. You're going to scroll down here to the multilingual, and once you click on that, it's going to add it directly to your website. And since I've already added it to this website, it's going to show up this way, and it's going to bring you to the dashboard area. We're going to go ahead and see it under the website content. All right, so first of all, let's just take a look at what happens here on our Wix Studio. It's going to add a widget to the very top of our header, and that's going to be a widget for us to switch between the languages that we selected. All right, so let's head over to our dashboard here. You can click on the dashboard menu to head straight to your Wix Studio dashboard or your Wix dashboard. Now we're going to again head over to the Wix website content and click on the multilingual, and once we get to the multilingual, we're going to go ahead and start our multilingual application. Now go ahead and click on start now. So I'm going to go ahead and actually collapse our menu, and here you can see that we are detecting the language we have on our website, and English is our current language or original language on our website. And I can go ahead and change it if you want. For me, I'm going to go ahead and set this as my original language, so go ahead and click on set original language, and once you do, it's going to ask you to set a flag for your original language for English. Now you can always use the United Kingdom or United States. For me, I'm going to use the United States for this, and this is going to be the flag that visitors will see in your language menu. Now let's go ahead and click on select flag. Now here we are on the review. We're going to check out how it's going to look like to our customers, and we have also the language code. So let's go ahead and confirm original language right here. And once we do, it's going to bring us straight to our dashboard where we can see the language that we selected, which is in English, the language code, the flag that we selected, and also the total number of words that are currently on our website. So basically, the AI went through our websites and kind of scraped the entire words and was able to detect all the words that we have on our website. All right, so what we're going to do here is to add a language to our site. I'm going to add French. All right, so because we are limited by the total number of words we can translate using the AI, I can only translate one word at this time. So go ahead and click on add language here, and you're going to select any language that you want to add to your website. For me, it's going to be French. You can choose any other language that you want, and then next you're going to choose a flag, and here you can see all the flags of the countries in the world that speak French. For me, I'm going to go with France, and you can choose any other flag that you want to represent your French language, depending on the country where you are and the countries where your customers are from. And the next setting we have here is a local setting, and this is basically when you have the same language for different regions. So for example, you can have English for the US, English for UK, and English for other countries that speak English. And if you want to show different content for this, then you can go ahead and toggle this on. As you can see, this is kind of a warning letting you know that locals for sites targeting specific regions and using the local unnecessarily might affect your site's search visibility. If unsure, add French without a local. So I'm going to go ahead and toggle this off, and just to keep it safe with the basic translation that we need. Now we have two options to translate our website. We can do it manually, or we can use machine translation or AI. I'm going to use the AI to translate my website. And the next setting we have here is if we want to make the language visible right away. Yes, we want to make that visible right away. Now go ahead and click on add your language, and this is going to add French to your website, and it's auto translating the entire website to French. Now this is an amazing way and a very quick way to translate your website, which I highly recommend. And of course, if you have auto translated your website, you can always manually update them based on what you think if you speak the language. Now you can see we have been able to translate 3,222 words. We have page contents translated, FAQs, shipping and delivery, site members, stores. So this is actually able to translate Wix applications and other things on our websites. Now once you're done, you can always go ahead and edit your translations right here, or you can head over here and set your original format, change flag, set as default visitor language, and so on. First of all, let's go ahead and edit our translations, and here we are on a table that allows us to go one by one to translate every single item on our website. I'm going to show you how real this is. Here we are on our home page, and we have the home page right here. I can see that our default language is in English, and we have our very first word, which is just land bags, and that's what we have right here. And it has been translated to this in French, so you can always change it to whatever you want. All right, and here we also have the second line, which is right here. We have the shop now as well. And we also have an image with an alt text, so you can actually change the image for different languages that you want, which is a very cool feature that I really like. And another cool thing that you can do is you can also set like an alt text for your image, so you can have a different alt text for your image. And if you want to add an alt text for your English translation, which is disabled right here, you can always head back to your website and click on the image, click on settings, and once you do, you're going to head over to this area here and add an alt text to your image. And once you do, it should appear here once you have saved it. And for French, you can also add your alt text to your image. And so we have so many other parts of your website that you can manually translate or change based on how you want it to be. And here we have the business information, which currently we don't have anything listed here. We also have our CMS. If you have a CMS, which I'm going to cover in another tutorial, how to translate your CMS to a different language. We have the coupons, we have the FAQs, and so many more. I believe we have the FAQs somewhere, probably on the about page, so let me just look for that real quick. All right, so we have the FAQ here on the about page, and we're able to translate that as well. First of all, we have the general, we have the categories, all right, and which are right here on our page. And we can also see the questions and answers, which are basically what are inside of these questions and answers, which we can change, of course. All right, we also have the payments, we have the shipping and delivery, and a whole lot more based on what our site is about. And even as site members, we have these fields, which is a page on my account page. And for stores, we have our products. So each of our products can be translated. We have the title, the short description, we have the info, the product info section, and the long description, which we can totally translate. All right, so we have so many more. We have checkouts and emails, and we're going to check out that pretty soon, which is the emails, because you can translate your Wix emails going out to your customers. We have the product options, product ribbons, and so many more. All right, so we're here on the other translation tools, and we have the site menus and the automated emails. So the site menus, you can translate that directly from your editor. It has been auto translated, and as you can see right here, we have a menu that you can switch in order to customize or see how it looks like on the language that you're translating. And from here, we have this floating bar that you can use to auto translate your site or manage translations. Now, when you click on your menu options here, you can edit the translation. So here you can see that it's already in French. So when you click on the menu icon here, you can rename it in the language that you are translating to. So if you bring that back to English, it's actually going to be in English again, and you won't be able to translate it from here unless you're just going to rename it normally in English. And most importantly, we have the widget for the site's user, which they're going to use to actually translate the website by themselves. So you can just add it perfectly where you want it to be. And over here, you can always go ahead and customize the look and feel of your translation bar. Now, this is entirely a design trick right here. You can also try to use a horizontal way to like have different languages in tools, or you can have it in a drop down, or you can also try to show a flag. You can try to show the flag in a circle, rectangle, rounded edges. I think having it in circle is better. And you can also go ahead and reduce the size or increase the size based on what you're looking for. And for the language option, you can also abbreviate the text or just show the language itself. And also you can align it to wherever you want within the drop down. And I think I like mine how it is right now, so I can just go ahead and kind of reduce that just a little bit more. And from here, you can use the Wix Studio Inspector to customize how this widget looks like to your customers. All right, so that's how you edit your widget and also customize your site menu for your site users. And then for the emails, we're going to head back to where we have more of our options. And just before we close that right out, you can also go ahead and save and publish to publish your settings live on your website. So let's quickly head back to our dashboard, and here we have a few settings options or things to look at. Let's go to our settings quickly, and here we can decide to automatically switch the language based on the site user's browser language, the one they're using currently on their PC. So let's just go ahead and toggle that on. As you can see, it's not recommended for SEO, so it depends on if you want to actually force this or not. I would recommend turning this on because it's going to automatically translate your website to your site users. And here again, you can see that we have the recommended or default visitor language. So this is the first language visitors will see when they arrive on your site, and you can decide to change it to any of the languages right here. And for me, it's going to be in English. I'm going to leave it that way. And then we have finally the URL structure. And this is basically how the URL will look like to the site user when they land on the language on your site. So right now we have mysite.com/en, which is an English code, and it will be FR for French, DE for German, and I think SR or something for Spanish, so on. All right, so we have the subdomains right here. It could be en.mysite.com, and this requires you to have a paid plan, and you need to also connect your site to a domain name. And we have here the language parameter, which is just going to add a parametric code to the end of your URL. So I'm going to leave it as a sub directory to my URL. And let's head back, and the next thing I'm going to check out here is how to translate your emails. All right, so let's head over to automations here and click on automations, and we're going to check out a few automations that Wix has automatically added for us on our websites. And here you can see we have app automations, which are basically the automations added to our website by Wix. So let's just take a look at a few of emails that we're going to add. Probably we're going to add or create a new automation just to test this out. So I'm going to be using the email visitors to recover abandoned carts. So let's go ahead and set that up. So this is basically an email that we send out to our customers when they try to buy an item and they don't actually purchase the item. We're going to send them an email reminding them to get back to their cart and purchase the item. All right, so the first thing we have here is we have our flow, and what I want to do is to click on the send an email, and here we're going to have more settings or more information about this email. And as you can see right here, we have sender details, which is not yet enabled, and we also have the email that we want to send out to our customers. And this email is by default in English, but we also can translate it to our language. So let's go ahead and click on edit. And as you can see, this is going to ask us to add in our sender details. And this is important because we're trying to send out an email to our customers. All right, so we're going to add a sender name, and it's going to be Wix Ideas. And the reply to email is going to be hello@wixideas.com. All right, and we can go ahead and save. All right, so this is going to send out a code to hello@wixideas, and I'm going to quickly go ahead and copy the code from my email, which is a verification code just to make sure that this email is working. Alright, so here's the code on my email to verify my email, and once I click on confirm, that's going to confirm that my email is active and it can be used as a reply to email. And if you have a domain authenticated, you can always go ahead and add a DNS record to authenticate or use a professional email. Alright, so let's go ahead and click on save, and once we're done, we can go ahead and edit the email we're sending out to our site users. And over here we have the ability to change the language of our email, and as you can see, the email is not automatically translated, so you have to go one by one translating the content of your email. But basically, this email is going to be sent out to your site visitor based on the language that is selected on the website. So if they land on your website and they switch to French and they browse on French and they get to their abandoned cart flow and they abandon their cart, then the email they're going to receive is going to be the French version of the email. So here you have to make sure to translate your email using the languages that you have on your website. All right, so there we have it with translating our websites, and we're about to actually check out how this really works. We're going to check out our website to see if our site was translated properly. So let's just go ahead and publish our website and just take a look at the entire flow. And again, if you want to add a widget to your site and you don't know how, head over to the add elements and head back down to the multilingual. And you can see the other presets that Wix has added for you, so you can go ahead and add this to your header or to your footer or any area of your website where you actually want to add that to. All right, so let's just go ahead and check out our website. All right, so when the page has loaded, we're going to find the widget to translate our website on the header of our website. Okay, so right now is by default in English, and we can go ahead and translate to French. We have a little bit of problem here because of the element is behind this bar right here. So I can just simply go ahead and click on that element and arrange and bring that forward. As it seems, this element is forward already. And what I'm going to do right here quickly is I'm going to go ahead and select my header, and I'm going to go ahead and also use this to arrange that and bring it to the front. And I believe that this element is not part of the header, so let's just go ahead and publish again and make sure that our header is now in front to enable us to see our widget properly without anything overlapping it. All right, so I've just refreshed my site, and once the page has loaded, we're supposed to see our widgets, and we are still having problem with these elements. So basically what I can do right here is to click on this element here and move it backwards. So let me just go ahead and do that. All right, so I don't seem to be able to send that back, so let me click on the announcement right here. That's where it is, and then move the announcement bar backwards because we have our language app on the header, which we can see over here, and we're going to again bring the header to the front and publish that. So just in case you're not seeing the option properly, just go ahead and bring your header to the front, and anything blocking it, move it backwards. All right, so now we've been able to fix that issue real quickly. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on our language, which is French, and once you do, you can see that our site has been translated to French very quickly. And you can also see we have the extension right here which is saying French, and when you check out the site, you can see that the site is being successfully translated to French. Now, one more thing you can also do, which I believe here, you can also go ahead and change the code to EN. You can see that didn't actually work unless you use this particular widget. All right, so let's just go ahead and translate back to English. And by default, English is not going to be showing any extension because that's the default language. But you can always go ahead and choose any default language that you want. And if you go to the all products page, you're also going to see that all the products have been translated to French. And when you click on any of the products right here, the products themselves or the products info have also been translated to French. So you can see we have all of those things in French. All right, so here we have it, and this is how you translate your Wix Studio and your Wix website to any language that you want. You can always add more languages, and you can also use the translator or the auto translator to translate your website. So let's just quickly take a look at an example, and this is going to be German. So we can always go ahead and use German, and you can use any of these country flags here. Let's go ahead and use Germany. The only problem is we cannot use the machine translation because we have used up our credits. So you can always go ahead and go with the manual translation, and you can always set that to visible, and you can manually go in and translate your website using any translation tools like Google Translate or any translation tools. Okay, so we have 3,222 words, which is pretty a lot, and you can always go to the edit translations and begin to add your translations manually. All right, so here we have it. You can translate and just add a language here. Let's see if we can translate this field alone because of the credit that we have left. We have about how many credits? We can see that around here, but basically we have just a few more credits for a few more words. So here I've been able to translate these particular words, and here you can use the English content or you can restore last saved translation. All right, so here is how you translate your websites. And if you also want to find out more about how to change the default language of your website or the currency of your website, you can check out my tutorial on adding multi-currency to your Wix Studio on your Wix website. Thank you very much again. I'm Walter, and I will see you in the next tutorial.